Football. Okay, so I'm going to transfer you over hosting capabilities.
Okay.
And we are good to go.
Awesome. Thank you. Like I said, everybody, Genevieve, she's my wonderful assistant. And she's actually tuning in from Montreal, right? Canada?
Yeah.
So it's late for her. I guess it's late for you too, Fran. Yeah. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us late in the day. And we are recording. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I'm just going to get started really quick. Most of you know me. I know a lot of you. Welcome. Happy you're here. I think you're going to love what you're going to learn tonight, even if it might be some review. But you get to hear from Elise Coyle. She's one of the first people I met when I started doTERRA, And she's from Duchesne, Utah. And Spring Chicken, who has 5 children and like 10 grandchildren right now?
Oh, no. 5.
5? Okay.
5 grandkids. Yep.
So busy. And so Elise, I'm going to let you share more, but just so you guys know, she knows what she's talking about when it comes to this DIY, and I think has a passion for the idea of penny pinching and making sure you're keeping things super budget friendly. And so I'm excited to learn from her.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be here. Yeah, like Chelsea said, we did not know each other pre-doTERRA. And that is why we're friends. And to me, that's one of the extra unspoken benefits of doTERRA is the community that you inherit, really, right? When you start using doTERRA and find your doTERRA family and that community, and so many people in my life I would have never met had I not decided to jump on this journey of simply using essential oils and looking at our family's health from a different point of view. So before I get off on any tangents, because I'm really good at that sometimes too, we are just going to pull up the screen. I'm going to share my screen with you. Oh, I can't share my screen with you. Do you want to help me share my screen, Chelsea?
So Chelsea, just make sure that on the share screen button, it says that everyone is able to share their screen, or multiple people at once.
Okay, well, Chelsea's working on that. I'm going to talk. How's that?
I'm sorry. I was muted. I was like chatting up a storm, and I'm totally muted. So it's not I'm not seeing that option. Jen, what if I just make her the host?
Yeah, that's perfect. Then she'll have.
Okay, Elise, you should be good.
Oh, yep. Just promoted me to host. There we go. Okay. So toxin-free living is what we are talking about today. And when Chelsea was like, hey, let's collaborate and let's do some continuing ed together, it was really a no-brainer for me to say, hey, this is the class that I want to teach. We love doTERRA and we use it throughout our household for a number of things, but toxin-free living was not something that was even on my radar before doTERRA. And to be honest, it wasn't even for a little while after that. I started using doTERRA because I needed to calm the crazy in my life emotionally. And that's exactly what I said when I went to a farmer's market and saw a booth. I'd never even heard of doTERRA. I dabbled in essential oils and was just like, I've got to calm this and let me be a happy mom again. But moving forward, I loved the oils, loved the effects that we were seeing, but I needed to be able to afford them. And that's where the toxin-free living really started to take shape in our lives. And what I began to realize was as the gatekeeper of my home, right, I get to pick who comes and who goes. And I no more would I want a stinky, muddy old dog to come dragging his footprints through my home. No more would I want that than I would want to bring in a product with chemicals that are going to pollute the air of my home and be possibly toxic to my family, right? Just like when we're raising our little kiddos, maybe we have some words that are off limits, right? Because they're caca. I had the right as a mom to be aware of other things that I was letting or bringing my very own self into my home. And that's kind of what I liken a lot of these ingredients in everyday products that we use. We may not really know they're there, but educating ourselves is really so important, because we get that choice. We get to choose what we bring into our home. And I live by the saying, when I know better, I'll do better. So I'm not going to teach this class and preach to you, because I am not perfect. Am I still leveling up my toxin-free living? Absolutely, I am. It's a process. So my hope for you at the end of this class is that you will find one product that you feel driven to swap out. Whether it's a personal care product, whether it's a household product, I want you to be able to feel for yourself, for your home, and for your family where your needs are, and know that you have a solution to just level up one notch closer to feeling like you have a safe and toxin-free home. Okay, so let's jump right in. I've already alluded to, we're going to cover household products and we're going to cover personal care products. And you can tell by the picture right here what I'm talking about. We're talking about our house cleaning products, and we're talking about our people cleaning products, basically, right? And we have a myriad of choices of what we can be using in our home. I mean, you go to the grocery store and there's an entire section devoted just to doing your laundry, just to cleaning your bathroom, just to washing your face, hands, hair, and body, right? And sometimes we really don't know which direction to go. So I'm going to go through some products to help give you some key pieces that you could look at, as well as some resources that you can use, and you can decide for yourself where your priorities are going to lie. Please don't feel like you've got to swap everything out in one huge swoop after the end of this class, right? Pick your poisons and decide what you're going to swap out. So first, personal care products, right? This is the stuff we're using every single day. Toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, skincare. I would dare say the majority of you, at least, is there anyone on the call that hasn't used at least one of these products today? Enter in the chat, because you're awesome if you can go more than one day without deodorant. Hands off to you. So when you take into consideration that our skin is our largest organ in our body, full of tiny little holes that let things in and let things out, and each of these personal care products are applied to our skin in one way or another, right? We, as the gatekeeper of our home, need also want to be the gatekeepers of our bodies, and just be aware of what we're really putting on. This wasn't something that I grew up with. It's something that I have learned over time. And like I mentioned, I am still learning and growing in this realm. But a couple of things to touch on. Toothpaste. doTERRA has a great toothpaste that includes the On Guard blend of essential oils. And hopefully all of you are really familiar with the On Guard blend and its properties. I will just say it's highly antibacterial, and it's also great at keeping our cells and our immune system working like it should, okay? And putting that in a toothpaste is basically just giving us another way to expose ourselves to that amazing essential oil blend, while also cleaning our mouth with natural products. It's actually going to help balance the pH in our mouth. No artificial flavors or colors. And that can be a big thing. I remember when my kids were toddlers, if they ate Fruit Loops then they usually had really grass green poo the next day, right? I hope that's not too PG. And you call your mom once, freaking out, and then you realize it's that toxic food coloring that our body can't process that is just whooping right out. And blue and yellow make green. And we took blue food coloring and mixed it with yellow poop and we got green. So there you go. So we want to look at things without those artificial colors or flavors, because artificial right there tells us our body's not going to process it. Our bodies don't have a use for it. It's just there to be more pleasing to the eye or pleasing to the taste. But we don't need that with the natural ingredients of the On Guard toothpaste. Okay, deodorant, something that we've always got to have, right? One of the tricks with deodorant is it's also usually mixed as an antiperspirant deodorant. We don't want to sweat, right? What do we do when we turn 13, 14? Our mom gives us the talk about how we need to shower more often and we're going to wash our face. And by the way, here's some deodorant. Yeah. And we immediately start to use it because we don't want to smell. We don't want to be in public, we don't want to be ridiculed or be self-conscious, and we don't want our children to feel that way. But what that deodorant is doing is it's stopping a natural body process. We're supposed to sweat. We just don't want it to stink. Okay? Under our arms, we have our lymph nodes, and their job is to circulate and move fluids throughout our body that support our immune system, that just keep the movement and flow in our body. And when we start trying to stop that, we're just interrupting just kind of the part of the circle of life that our body has going, and we don't want to do that. So the key is using clean ingredients in our deodorant and in our bodies, and then our sweat won't stink. Okay, so what doTERRA has done is done a natural deodorant. There, you've got the Balance blend. You've also got a wild orange citrus blend. If you got in on the citrus bloom set that they had, or line that they had for a limited time only, they have that deodorant as well. And it's amazing because it doesn't have any of those bad aluminum ingredients in it. And it's going to slowly help your body to detoxify those lymph nodes. Let your body still sweat, but without stinking. One tip that I have for you, if you have, like I had at the time, been using regular commercial deodorant for years and years and years, it's going to be a shock to your body to not all of a sudden be blocking that scent, your own body odor, and the sweating part. So what I suggest is you buy doTERRA's mud mask and you put that on your armpits while you shower. And that helps to pull those toxins out. In fact, I do that once a week. My Sunday shower includes a facial for my armpits. So just to keep things flow, moving all the time. And it's going to just help pull those toxins out that much quicker so that your sweat doesn't stink. And I am one of those people, guys, especially my stress sweat. Whew, it's amazing. But with doing that on a weekly basis with the mud mask and then using doTERRA's deodorants, I don't have a body odor problem. I don't smell. I do a lot of traveling, or have in the past done a lot of traveling to the Philippines. 90 degrees, 100% humidity. You are never not sweating. But I can tell you, I don't have body odor there. So, and that's because I'm letting my body do its natural thing and supporting it with natural products. All right, shampoo and conditioner. We all love shampoo and conditioner because we all want our hair to look awesome, right? But what is underneath our hair? We have a scalp that's made of skin and pores and hair follicles. So we've got to be mindful. We're not just cleaning our hair, we are cleaning our scalp. And the chemicals or colorings or fragrances in our hair care products are being absorbed not only by our hair, but also by the roots and the hair follicles and the pores in our scalp. So we want to be mindful of that. One ingredient that shampoos love to have is abbreviated SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. It is a no-no, right? We can go off on a huge tangent. Google it. You will know. It's just not healthy for our body. It interrupts a lot of the endocrine system and just causes not happy things. So that is something that doTERRA does not use. doTERRA does not use any artificial fragrances. they use essential oils. So we're not have to worry about that. Colors, our shampoo isn't blue, right? We don't need to worry about those things that our body can't process, because when we're using something our body can't process, we're taxing that elimination system. We're taxing the kidneys and the liver, and we don't need to be doing that with our shampoo. Come on, that's just silly. And then we've got our skincare, right? doTERRA has 3 actually amazing skincare lines available for you. The one pictured here on this slide is their Virage system, which is a plant-based skincare system. I love all of doTERRA's skincare products. They've got one for combination skin, kind of your teenage acne prone. They've got your good everyday use, just good skincare, your regular skincare, natural skincare, and then they've got this plant-based skincare. All of them are wonderful. You can buy them in the sets. You can mix and match. I would just challenge you to start with one and then try it and then decide what you love. I love the Virage because you use so little, and a lot of their products are multi-use. So I use the toner as a sea salt spray for my hair. It curls better. So after I put in my regular products, before I blow my hair dry, I grab the toner and spray it on my roots. And yeah, because I have a lot of hair, but it's pretty limp. And the toner is great for that. And then the serum, the face serum, is also super good if you have split ends. Now, doTERRA has an amazing root to tip serum. And that is like your repair and restore for your hair. But when you just in between haircuts, right? Corona, quarantine, or you've just, anyway, your hair's a little damaged and you just want that little bit of repair, you just grab not even a whole, just a half a pump of that face serum and just put it into your ends, and it's great. So I love the Virage because I have found multiple uses for that, and that's super fun. So Chelsea, stop me. I am not looking at the chat or the questions. Do we have any questions or comments on personal care products that we need to share or touch on?
I think so far, just a few comments. People are loving the Virage, and I've answered a question about SLS, so you're doing great. I think. Okay, awesome. Well, shoot me a sign if I need to quit, because I'm a good talker. So, all right. So I hope that with this slide and what we've talked about, choose one thing that you are going to add to your next doTERRA order, right? One thing that you're not going to have in your medicine cabinet that you are going to swap out for something that's cleaner, that's less toxic for you or for your family. And that's just going to help you level up that personal care that you have for yourself, because that's important. When we get on an airplane, what do they tell us to do? Put our oxygen mask on first, right? So personal care is a big deal. We've got to take care of ourselves so that we are available for care and nurturing for other people at the same time. All right, household products. So I'm going to have to really watch my time on this one because I can really dive deep into this. Little bit of background for me. I told you that I really wasn't on the whole toxin-free living radar at all. When I was looking for oils, I was looking for stress, and I was looking for some help for allergies for my kids. Fast forward, I wanted to start doing a loyalty rewards order. In fact, I saved all my pennies, did a $300 order, and then I got this really cool call from this girl named Chelsea who said, hey, I saw you just placed a $300 order. Did you realize if you'd done that as a loyalty rewards order, you would have earned points? And I was like, I know, but I can't commit to $100 a month. I had to save my pennies. But it really got me thinking again. I want to get these points, right? I want to be able to swap. There's got to be a way that I can adjust my budget to be able to be earning these points. And the way I found to do that was by swapping out my cleaners. Now, mind you, this was 10 years ago. So this was pre-On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. This was pre-laundry soap. This was essential oils. So I started digging, started reading some blogs, because those are what existed then. No Instagram, no Pinterest.
and started making my own clingers. And what that meant was when I went to Walmart, my Walmart bill, so preface that with, we live 60 miles from the nearest Walmart because I live in a town of about 2,000 people. So we do a once a month Walmart trip. I cut my bill by almost $75 not buying cleaning products, anything. All I bought was baking soda and vinegar so that I could use the essential oils I already had in my home. Well, guess what that meant? That was $75 towards my LRP. I was so excited. And it wasn't hard to make those switches. So I'm going to talk to you about the cleaning products that doTERRA has now, but I am going to email Chelsea. Let me see if I can swap really quick. Oh, look how cool I am. I have my 5 favorite cleaning recipes. Only one of them uses the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, and that's the all-purpose cleaner. We've got a carpet freshener, toilet bowl cleaner, bathtub cleaner, and a drain cleaner. That only sharing is paused. Oh, did I mess this up? Can you see my recipe sheet?
We can't. We just still see the slide.
Okay, let me stop and let me change my share. I am going to make sure that Chelsea shares this with you because once in a while, On Guard Cleaner Concentrate is out of stock and you want to still be able to clean. So I'm going to have her email this to you for being on the call. It's my thank you for listening to my stories and giving you a chance to level that up. So, but let's talk about what doTERRA has available because they're the masters at doing the science and digging into all of this, right? So 3 things that we want to stay away from in our household cleaners: sodium hydrochloride, which is bleach, hydraulic acid, and sodium hydroxide. All 3 of those have been studied for long periods of time. And 20 years, well, I don't know when, but for 20 years, the FDA studied those 3 ingredients specifically, and 6,000 people. They took 6,000 people that were using regular commercial cleaners, watched them over 20 years, and every single one of them had long-term reduced lung function. So what does that mean? That means they sniffed too many toxins without even knowing it. So then what does that mean in the long run? That means their colds last a little longer. That means they may have asthmatic symptoms, right? Without even having asthma. They're going to be more prone to everything that comes along just because they were cleaning or disinfecting. But what they were really doing was polluting their lungs. And what doTERRA has done is given us options to do it a better way, to just level up one more step. So like I mentioned, I use vinegar. Vinegar cuts grease and cuts mineral deposits. Baking soda absorbs odors and is a good little scrubbing agent when you got to kind of get to the grit of cleaning. Salt is kind of your next level up as far as a scrubbing agent. And then you have your Castile soap, and that's what lifts your dirt, grease, and stains. Castile soap is part of doTERRA's On Guard Cleaner Concentrate with a 5 ml bottle of On Guard in that bottle. You can tell on my label right there, see you've got a little picture. So it's right there inside 5 millimeters. So 100 drops of On Guard is in this 12-ounce bottle, which is going to last you like 3 months, legit. And you can clean, and it's so easy that there are instructions right there, like a picture, like your 3rd grader can make your cleaner, right?
Elise.
Yes.
Quick question. Can you just repeat the list of the toxins you mentioned at the beginning of that?
Yes. Sodium hychlorite, which is bleach, and hydraulic acid, and sodium hydroxide.
Okay, thank you.
And I pulled that off of the EWG, that website where you can like put your ingredients in and it tells you how nasty they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I found that, and that's where they talked about that study.
Perfect.
So, hey, this cleaner is going to clean basically everything that you need to clean in your home. It's your all-purpose cleaner, and rather than killing the germs with this shotgun effect of killing everything, It's just killing the bad crud, the mold, the mildew, the germs, the salmonella, the whatever, but it's not affecting our internal gut flora, right? Which, if you get onto the whole hand sanitizer situation, can be a problem. We don't want to be killing everything. We want to just be killing what our body can't handle. So then you've got your On Guard foaming hand wash, and that's kind of on the same line as the hand sanitizer. A lot of hand sanitizers and antibacterial hand soaps have a antibacterial ingredient in them called, I think it's pronounced triclosan or triclosan or something like that.
I think it's triclosan.
Oh, thank you. Okay, got my enunciation off there. I've just seen it written. I've never heard it spoken.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what I've heard. So
okay, thank you, Chelsea. So that's what it is. And that is antibacterial, but it doesn't let us keep the good bacteria. And if we don't have the good bacteria, then our body's not fighting anything. We're actually weakening our immune system by not leaving that good bacteria in our system. Our flow, we've got to constantly be working and flowing, and the in and the out. And if we're just killing it all, then we're interrupting that flow. And so you're not going to ever find those type of antibacterials in the hand sanitizer or the foaming hand wash, because they just use On Guard. They don't just use On Guard. They only need On Guard, right? That's it. Then you've got your diffuser. So a lot of those ingredients that I mentioned, the sodium hydroxide and the hydrochloric acid, those are also prevalent in our air fresheners, like the disinfectant sprays and things that we spray into the world to disinfect the air. And while they're killing bacteria in the air, we're breathing that in. And again, we're interrupting the flow because it's killing the bacteria that maybe our bodies need. And then it's also diminishing our lung function, which is just not a happy place to be. So we want to steer clear of those types of air fresheners. I'm going to give you a fun Febreze recipe. And I was gonna have my spray mist bottle from doTERRA, and well, it's not here on my desk, so I can't show it to you, but doTERRA has an awesome little mister spray bottle that's purple that pressurizes, so you push it and it keeps spraying. So this is what I do. 2 cups of distilled water, 2 tablespoons of alcohol, and 15 drops of essential oil. You put that little bit of alcohol in there so that it evaporates just a little bit faster. That's my Febreze. So that's what I spray the pillows down with, the couch cushions, the ottoman, the carpet, whatever soft things I have. That's how I have replaced that, so that I'm not using those other artificial fragrances.
can you repeat that recipe real quick?
2 cups of distilled water, 2 tablespoons of alcohol, and 15 drops of essential oil.
Beautiful, thank you.
And you can fiddle with the oil. I don't always put in 15. I find I really don't need all 15, but whatever you want. And what I love to do is I will do like 8 or 10 of whatever smell I want, and then I do a couple drops of peppermint, because who doesn't need that little mint of life in their life? So that's kind of what I love to do with my fragrances. So you've got your diffuser as well, right? And that's the same concept. You've got water and essential oils, no artificial anything. And while it's going into the air, the essential oil is, the little molecules of essential oil are attaching to the droplets of water and just poofing up into the air. And it just chills up there. After you, even if your diffuser's, once it's turned off, you've still got those oils in the air. And so with that, you're able to uplift your mood, because if you haven't yet, part of this continuing ed series is going to teach you all about emotions and how we access those feelings through our olfactory system. We're also cleaning the air. We're also boosting an immune system if we're diffusing On Guard or other essential oils that have those properties as well. So you're getting like the whole package of diffusing essential oils, not only the good smell. And then we've got our laundry detergent. That's just a no-brainer. What I love about the On Guard laundry detergent is that there's On Guard in there, which means it's antibacterial, which means if someone in our house who can go unnamed happens to leave the wash in the wash overnight, we very seldom have to rewash because the On Guard does its job. I don't have a smelly load of laundry. So that's one thing I love to do. And I found I use dryer balls. I don't need dryer sheets for the smell or for the anti-static. And I don't know if that has to do with the fact that we don't have the artificial colors and artificial fragrances in there or what. I don't know the science of it, but I use my wool dryer balls, a couple drops of Purify, or if I'm doing sheets, I'll do lavender, or if I'm doing towels, I love to do a citrus, whatever it is, and you throw that in there. I didn't know this, but in doing a little prep for this class, did you know that dryer sheets build up on the inside of your dryer drum? They build up on the screen. So that means they're building up on your clothes. And then when you're wearing your clothes, like it's rubbing off onto your skin. We just got done talking about how our armpits need a facial every week, right? Well, we don't want to be counteracting that by sealing off our skin with the toxins from the dryer sheets. So my challenge for you would be pull out your dryer screen, clean it off, and go run water over it. Chances are, if you've been using dryer sheets, and I'm not shaming, we're just knowing better so we can do better, that the water will not run through that screen. It will run right off the top of that screen because that is the buildup that's happened from those dryer sheets. So get a little scrub brush, put a little soap on there, dub, 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 and you'll be good to go, and your dryer will work so much better. But it's the same concept with your clothes and with what we're putting on our skin. We just don't want to block that flow. So there you go. That is a mouthful. How are we? Are we good with everything on that situation?
I think we're doing great. There are some fun ideas being shared in the chat if people want to read some other ideas. People are getting creative. And I just want to say, in terms of the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, just a little side random note, it actually is the best stain remover on the planet. I use it to get stains, blood, chocolate, you name it, it gets anything out. So, side note.
Yes, I actually remember when they like launched that they said any organic stain like On Guard is just there, like that's what you want. The only other thing that I use for stain remover is Purify on ink. I haven't really been able to get the On Guard to pull the ink out.
Oh, smart, but
Purify. So pen explodes in a white shirt, and I just put the white shirt on top of an old towel and a couple drops of Purify, straight Purify, right onto that ink, and then you let it sit, and the ink literally goes through the shirt and onto the towel.
Cool.
Like, it's awesome. And then I'll spray it with some warm water and keep it going. My daughter had, she had been serving a mission for church in Hawaii for 18 months and came home, and we took her shopping. And the one pair of shoes she wanted were white Vans. And she was so excited. So we bought these pure, shiny, sparkly white Vans. She bought the Scotch Guard. She bought the water protectant. She was keeping these Vans pristine, right? Well, she goes to a bonfire with some friends, and she doesn't just step in a puddle. She steps in a swamp mud hole. So she now has one muddy Van and one white Van. And between the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate and some Purify and sitting out in the good old sunshine, we got those Vans white again. So can totally be done. We did not use a stitch of the unnamed word called bleach because we didn't want it and we didn't have to. So yeah, lots of great things and so many tips. Oh, let me share this one tip. So the one thing that I know a lot of people like to use the On Guard cleaner for their wood, but we live in such a dry climate here in Utah that we need a little bit more love on our wood. So for my wood polish, I do 4 drops Arbor Vitae, 2 drops of lemon, and fractionated coconut oil. So when my fractionated coconut oil bottle is about half empty, then I add my drops of Arbor Vitae and lemon, and that's my dusting oil. And I just put some on a clean cotton rag and whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So the arborvitae, if you think about it, arborvitae trees don't get diseases. They don't get bugs. They live for freaking ever. So talk about the very best vitamins for our wood, right? And then you've got the lemon that's just going to help to shine and bring out, and you could also do wild orange that helps just bring out the natural glow of the wood. And I love that. So that's the one other cleaner that I do use. Let's see. I'm trying to see if oh, this was a good ratio that I like to keep in my head. If I am just cleaning, like people say, well, how many oils should I use? How many drops of essential oil? Like for the Febreze or for you know, whatever you're doing, your glass cleaner, things like that. If you're just doing regular cleaning, you're going to do 5 drops to 2 to 3 cups of water. But if you're more of a deeper clean, you're going to go 10 to 15 drops to 2 to 3 cups of water. You're going to go 20 plus drops when you're deep cleaning. And I just think it's good to keep in mind that we don't always have to max out our oils, right? We want to spread those doTERRA dollars as far as we can, and less really can be more when we're talking about our essential oils. But at the same time, we want them working while we're scrubbing. And so if you can add those extra oils if you need to. All right, let's move a little more. So you're thinking of how you're going to level up, right? We're thinking, okay, what are we going to do to just do a little bit better? Try a little harder to do a little better, right? And this is a great example of what your wellness box could look like on your loyalty rewards order. You've got your shampoo, your cleaner, toothpaste, hand sanitizer, and then your skincare, and adding that bottle of Purify is just awesome. The only thought maybe would be to add deodorant and mud mask. So maybe, I don't know, if you need to do a swap, remember the deodorant and the mud mask are super important to your flow as well. And that's what I love. Another tip, let me stop sharing my screen, maybe. Oh, shoot, you don't want that. I'm not quite sure what I've done here, people. Am I still sharing my screen, Chelsea?
Yes.
And so now you see the wrong PowerPoint because Elise doesn't know what she did. There I am. But, okay, hang on. There we go. Okay, stop share. This is what I want you to look at first, is if you are like, okay, where do I find all the recipes of all the things for all the whatevers? You can Google and you can find great blogs and Pinterest and everything. And that's really great. But I really like a hands-on thing. And I really love this book. This lady's name is Marisa Snyder. She is a doTERRA wellness advocate. She is a women's health, like, super advocate. I don't even know what like the super duper of advocate is, but that's her when it comes to hormones and women's health. Chelsea's with me, right? She's spoken before at convention. She has a podcast that will knock your socks off if you're wanting to learn all about hormones and the woman life. But this book is the Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils. And you guys, this has got recipes for everything. And she gives some amazing explanations on the oils and the specific properties and their uses for the cleaning. And she's got a whole section on cleaning. She's got a section on aromatherapy. She's got a self-care section that will knock your freaking socks off if you want to DIY more. She has a hot oil treatment for your hair that's super stupendous. Anyway, okay, name again, Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils by Dr. Marisa Snyder. It's on Amazon. It's paperback. We moved in December and I haven't found my book. I ordered another one. That's how much I like my book. I couldn't wait to get to the box that was going to unpack this book because I use it on a regular basis. So this would be your next step to really kind of leveling things up on that. So, all right, we are to about my part of the class part of the information. So I just want to open it up. If you guys have any specific questions for me, I'm happy to answer them before we move to the next piece of our class. So don't be shy. Oh, good. And you've posted the podcast. Yes, I love that.
And just while we're waiting for people to, hi, this is Genevieve, to ask some questions, I'm just going to post our class questionnaire for everyone, the link. And Elise, would you like to come up with a code word for today's class?
Ooh, how fun. Let's do, oh, I don't know. There's too many. I'm not good at this. Okay, code word, let's say Snyder, because that's Mariza's last name. So we'll do Snyder, S-N-Y-D-E-R.
Beautiful. I'll pop that in the chat. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, is anybody brave enough to ask a question, or am I super scary?
You're not scary at all. You're doing awesome. And there was some good chat while you were talking. And so I think
maybe we got it all.
Like ready for more.
Okay. So if we were at a regular I get to see your face class, then what we would do is we would, oh, wow, I am a winner, but I'm not winning at this right this minute. Okay, how about we stop the share and put you guys out of your misery here really quickly while I try to pull up what I wanted to pull up. Because I am a winner. I am a preschool teacher by trade, and I get really frustrated when my kids get down on themselves. So we don't say bad things about ourselves. I am really struggling. Okay, we might just have to do this without the PowerPoint. You just might get me. So, because I'm not quite sure what I did. Yeah, I closed all my Google tabs. That's how awesome I am. Okay, so if we were at a class, I would pass around an amazing refreshment as my thank you to each of you to sticking it out with me. And I would probably make brownies with peppermint in them, or maybe I would make some banana bread with a little bit of cinnamon essential oil, or my favorite lately is guacamole with lime, black pepper, cilantro, and wild orange. Secret ingredient to your guacamole. Yeah, Boyd and Sandy Truman's guacamole recipe is the freaking bomb. I'll probably text that to you, Chelsea, and then if you love all these people, you can share that with everyone who came to the Zoom today. But we would pass that around, right? And that would be my thank you. And I don't get to do that, but I can share with you the other cherry on top when it comes to doTERRA. And that is the opportunity that you have to share doTERRA with people in one way or another. Usually, most people that come to classes like this are one of three types of people. First one is they're so excited and ready to use every single one of these products as fast as they possibly can on themselves and on their family, right? They're ready to jump into the loyalty rewards program and start to get their points for free product, which is amazing. You order at least 50 PV of product every month, and doTERRA is gonna gift you back between 10 and 30% in free product points. And you start at 10%, and then every 3 months you jump up 5% until you hit 30, and then you're at 30 forever, and it's amazing. I spend about 150 PV a month. I'm at 30%, so that means I earn $45 in free product every single month. That is how I buy my skincare, my laundry soap, my cleaner, my citrus bloom, all the fun personal care extras. I can honestly tell you guys, I have not paid for my skincare for probably 4 or 5 years. I haven't bought laundry soap for just as long. And I absolutely love that. I love getting to pick where I spend my money and where I don't spend my money. The other type of person who comes to these classes have started thinking of people while I have been talking. And they're like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is struggling with da-da-da-da-da. I bet if she tried this, something else would happen. She'd have a different result, right? Those are people that are ready to share doTERRA, ready to just kind of open their mouth and say, hey, friend, I might have a natural solution for you. And the side benefit of that is by sharing with your friends and family, just like you would the fact who told their friends to make sure they got on Disney Plus and watched Hamilton over the weekend, right? doTERRA is similar to that. What's going to make your day just a little bit better? A little peppermint oil. just like watching Hamilton on July 3rd on Disney Plus. And doing that is eventually going to help you get your oils paid for. And the cool thing is you have this essential oil community that has so many education pieces already built in. All you need to do is say, hey, there's an oil that might help you, and I can hook you up with the resources that you need. Send them a sample, contact your upline, let them help you know what sample might be best or how or what to do that way. Let them know that you've sampled someone, and they'll help you follow up. They'll hook you into the right Facebook groups, the right continuing ed classes, all of the awesome stuff, right? Now, the third type of person that's here is thinking, okay, Elise and Chelsea are cool, but oh my heck, I am as cool as them. And if they can stumble through and learn how to do these, use these oils on their family, do a little better each day, and keep going forward with it full time, I can probably do that too, right? And I would dare say you totally can. Chelsea and I are two ordinarily amazing people who just wanted to level up our lives just a little bit, right? So there's a concept called building a pipeline, and it was something that I had never been introduced to before doTERRA. And what I love is by understanding that part, that concept, we're able to see it in so many parts of our lives. So building a pipeline is likened to a man bringing water to a village. He walks to the river, he fills up his buckets, and he takes it back to his family. And then he thinks, there's a couple more families that could use water. I'll make a couple extra trips and I'll sell them the water. And pretty soon he's making a decent living for his family. But the problem is he hits a ceiling. He hits that glass ceiling, he hits a wall. He can only make so many trips to the river and bring so many buckets of water back. And he's limited by the structure of what he's doing. So another guy jumps on and is like, hey, there's still more people that need water. I'm going to start doing the same thing. But what he also starts to do, once he's making enough money for his family, in the extra 1 or 2 hours he has in the day, he starts to dig a pipeline. And it doesn't create results in the very, very beginning, right? It's little by little. So he's working full-time at feeding his family by hauling water, buckets of water, and working part-time to slowly build a pipeline that will eventually reach the village. When that pipeline gets there, all he has to do is turn that water on, and the village has a permanent water source, which also means he has a permanent income source without making any trips back to the river. That also means his income is only capped by the quality of his pipeline, which if he's done his job and he's dug that and done good pipes and he maintains that source of income, that source of water for his village and the source of income for his family is never going to go away. And it can be as much as he wants it to be. He's not limited by the hours in the day or the number of buckets he has or the number of trips he can take back and forth to the river. Now, you can liken this to the health and wellness that you offer to people when you introduce them to doTERRA. Because what have you done? You have given them that living water, that resource that they are in absolute control of in order to be able to bring health into their home. That bottle of essential oil is good for 7 to 10 years with 300 drops in it. And no one gets to dictate whether I deserve that prescription or not. I'm in control of that. And when you share that with your friends and family, they are in control of what they bring into their home. So at 2 a.m., they have a residual pipeline of health sources ready and available for them. If you choose to continue to share, you can build yourself a residual pipeline of income through doTERRA's compensation plan, which is awesome, right? Because then whether I am here or whether I happen to fly to Denver because my grandson is in the NICU and my son and daughter-in-law need some extra love and support, my paycheck doesn't change because that pipeline is still there. The pieces, the community are all there ready to go, right? If I want to take a vacation, if I want to go live in the Philippines for a month, nothing changes. So if that's something that speaks to you, if there is a destination in your life that you're not quite sure how you're going to get there, maybe there's something on your vision board or in your goals that you're not quite sure how you're going to get there, I would highly suggest that you reach out to the person who invited you to this class and ask them if doTERRA might be the ticket or a piece of the journey to help you reach that destination. I started out with doTERRA, just like I said, I was just going to calm the crazy in my head. And I know it makes me sound like a freaking whack. I wasn't, but I just needed to feel more like myself. And as things went on, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And we live in a very small town, 2,000 people. And I didn't want to be that crazy oil lady. I didn't want my kids to be labeled with the weird mom, right? But I finally said to my husband one day, after a couple of months of using the oils, I'm like, I can't keep my mouth shut. I cannot go to the grocery store or the post office or pick the kids up from school one more time without saying, I might have something for that. Did you know Hamilton is on Disney Plus tomorrow, right? And it just started that simply just by sharing. And then I thought, man, I taught preschool in my basement for years and years, and I made about $1,000 a month. I'll bet I could teach moms how to put oils on their kids, and I'll bet I could do the same thing. And sure enough, I did. And I got to a point where I am a teacher, and I always thought I would go back to teaching when my kiddos were all in school. And about 3 years into doTERRA, I was offered a teaching job. And I knew I was at a transitional point in my life. And I actually confided in my neighbor, who is now one of my frontline leaders, who wasn't even using oils at the time. And I'm like, here's the deal. I take a job with the school district. We'll have benefits. But at the time we owned our own business, we'll have corporate state benefits. I'll have every summer off, and I have a set income. Or if the compensation plan with doTERRA does what it says it will do, I think I could make more than a teacher makes. And she's just like, if you've got all that confidence in the product, you should probably have the same amount of confidence in the company, which means you have the confidence in the compensation plan. And if you stick with doTERRA, you'll define your summers. You'll define your income if what you're telling me is true. Guys, I'll tell you, 10 years, 11 years later, I can make in 2 months what a teacher makes in 1 year. And I don't share that to boast or be prideful in any way. Sorry. I share that because every single one of those dollars represents a piece of impact that I have made in this world. And it represents a humanitarian opportunity that I have been able to offer my children. It represents donations that we can pay forward to people in need. It represents moms who have calmed the crazy in their head, right? That's what that says to me. We have been able to, on my vision board, when I started doTERRA, there were 2 things that I didn't know how we were going to get to. I had a tire, because we really wanted to sell our tire store. And I had a palm tree, because we wanted to go back to the Philippines. I seriously had zero confidence that we were ever going to get to either of those pieces. But I will tell you that doTERRA is what has given us the opportunity. We sold the tire store 4 years in to doTERRA when we replaced our income there. And about a year after that, so for the last 3 years, I have been to the Philippines 14 times, building teams there, helping moms stay home instead of having to work abroad away from their kiddos, helping moms pay their tuition for their kiddos because the public schools there aren't awesome. The other thing we've been able to do is we've been able to take our children with us, and our kids go to a school of about 300 students, grades 7 through 12. We live in a town of 2,000 people, but each of my children have been able to speak at an inner city school about how to reach their goals, about how you can work hard and change patterns in your life. And they have spoken to anywhere between 1,500 and 3,000 students at a time, more than the population of the town that we live in. I can't think of a better paycheck in the whole entire world. So if a little girl like me, who has never lived in a town bigger than 2,000 people, except to get her college degree, can turn around and show other people how to make an impact in the world, then I promise you that each and every one of you can, to whatever level or desire you have. That might be the 3 people that you thought of during this class. That might be the people under your roof, or that might be people that you haven't even met yet. So I would just challenge you to understand and realize the impact that you can make in this world by just stepping out of your comfort zone just a little bit. I don't even like to say step out of your comfort zone, just make it bigger. Just take like the comfort zone like this and just like that much, because that just gives room for that many more people to come in. That much more impact that you can make. And then before you know it, that comfort zone is bigger and bigger and bigger. And you have a stronger and a more beautiful circle of impact that you have been able to make for whatever you are passionate about. So that's my spill, and you hung on so awesome. And I am thankful for that. I'm thankful for each and every one of you and the time that we could spend together. I'm thankful for Chelsea and the doTERRA family that we have, right? It's an amazing community that we can bring our friends and family into. So, all right, there you go.
Awesome.
Done. I don't have a good ending to that at all.
That was perfect. I just think we need applause, right, everybody? Woohoo!
No.
Elise is amazing. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing all of those pieces to your journey. Super inspiring stuff. And I think I legit have the best people on my team in the whole world. Like, I hear your story, and I just, and your savviness on what you talked about tonight. Like, I know where you come from. This isn't who you were before, right? Like, your journey has taken you and shaped you and made you this inspiring person who is making a huge difference. So thank you for taking time
You're welcome.
to share all of that tonight. Yeah. How fun. You can do emojis on these. People are clapping.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
So, okay, let me just share this one thing super quick. And I didn't even realize this. So we've been using oils for about 11 years. My oldest is 24. My oldest is 27. My youngest is 18. And I have a daughter that's 21 dating someone, and she's like, so Mom, I told him that we like don't use that medicine and we just use oils, and it's just taking him a little while to digest that. And I thought, wait a minute, I've affected the next generation, right? That next generation of my family, my grandkids are all oil babies. I've always been sad that I didn't get to have an oil baby. Chelsea's got to have oil babies. I never got to have oil babies, but my kids are having oily grandbabies. And I love that they're able to start just one level up, right? They already know a little better and can do a little better with what we've given them. So you just never know. Like, I guess that's just what I want. I am so passionate about people knowing that you make an impact no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. Just choose what your impact is. Choose how you're going to make the world just a little bit better of a place. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that so much too. And it feels great knowing that the next generation is just a little more enlightened, a little bit more aware, a little bit more empowered, right? And speaking of that, next week's class, like I said, I have the best people on my team. And next week's class, you're going to not want to miss. You're going to want to bring all of your team people, your friends. Will be taught by Roz Mignona. She is a plethora of things. She was actually on you'll see it in the bio when you get the email reminders and things if you're on that. But she was in the, what is it called? The Broadway, not on Broadway, but like the touring Broadway company for Wicked, the musical, which woohoo is amazing. So she's a great performer, but she's also a nutritional therapy practitioner and a doula. And mother of 4. She has, 2 of her babies were born since she's had doTERRA, and she's going to be teaching us about oils for all ages. So from pregnancy, birth, children, how to handle all of that, which is really, really important information, because there's a lot of questions for people on, what's safe for this or that. And oh man, I could go on for hours about the fun you can have with babies and children and oils. But I'm excited for you to learn from her. So next week, same time, same place. And bring your friends. And thank you for being here. Genevieve, do we have anything else we need to mention?
No, I think we are good. Have a great evening, everyone. And we will get all of those great PDFs or kind of, I guess, slides or things like that Elise shared. And we'll get all of that out to you tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
See y'all later.